ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Very soon we are going to enter Kartik month. We need to prepare our consciousness for the Kartik festivals, for Deepdan, for whatever devotional activities that we wish to perform during this auspicious month. Of all the 12 months in a year, Kartik month has its own special glory. Especially Vaishnavas across the globe look forward to Kartik month. And the name Kartika itself reminds us of Srimati Radharani, because this is another name of Srimati Radharani. And Kartik month is also called Damodar month, and Damodar is another name of Krishna. And this Damodar month reminds us of one of the most enchanting qualities of Krishna. Krishna has so many qualities, and one of the most attractive qualities of Krishna is his nature to come under the control of his devotees. The very word Damodar reveals that nature of Krishna. Damodar, Dama is rope, Udara means belly. Damodar is one whose belly is bound by the rope of Mother Yashoda's love. Is that fan sound? So much? Okay. Okay, fine. Damodar, the word Damodar reminds us of Krishna's foremost quality of being a subservient of his devotees. And in fact, the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes Damodar Leela and also declares, Evam sandarshita yanga harina bhrityavashyata swavashenapi krishnena yasyedam seshwaram vashe. Evam sandarshita yanga harina bhrityavashyata. Krishna is performing leelas like Damodar Leela and many other leelas in Vrindavan just to manifest his quality of Bhrityavashyata. Harina Bhrityavashyata. Lord Hari is controlled by his Bhrityas, by his servants. Svavashena api Krishnena. Svavashena means he is under his own control. No one can control Krishna. He is the supreme controller. As Brahma says in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvaraha Paramaha Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. He is Parameshvara, the supreme controller. Although he is supreme controller, Svavashena, although he himself can control himself, he has complete self-control. Still, he likes to be controlled by his devotees. Yes, yedam seshwaram vashi. This entire universe is under his control. And the controllers of this universe, in the form of other deities, they are also under his control. But Krishna is under the control of Yashoda Mata, his devotees. This shows that we need to give up our controlling mentality. Our controllership mentality keeps us in this material world. Conditioned soul means controlling tendency to lord over the material nature. Bhagavatam 10th canto 24th chapter describes this disease of controllership as Ishamani syndrome. Ishamani means I am Isha, I am the controller. Who is affected by this disease? Indra. He knows. So Indra is affected by this Ishamani syndrome. Not only Indra, many other people also. Sometimes they get affected by this syndrome. So, by reminding ourselves that Krishna is the supreme controller, we sing Damodar Ashtakam every day during Kartik month. Namam Ishwaram Sachidananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bharajamanam. Namami Ishwaram. Krishna is the supreme Ishvara. Sachidananda Rupam. He has Sachidananda form. Lasat Kundalam. His ears are decorated with beautiful kundal, earrings. Gokule Bharajamanam. His leelas are resplendently manifested in Gokul. Lasat Kundalam Gokule Bharajamanam. Yashoda Bhiyolukhaladhavamanam Paramrishtabatyanta Todhritya Gopya. That supreme Ishvara, Sachidananda Vigraha, that supreme controller of all controllers, is caught by Mother Yashoda. Yashoda Bhiya. In this one shloka, see the contrast. The first half of the shloka establishes Krishna's glory as the supreme controller. But second half of the shloka establishes Krishna's supreme glory of being controlled by his devotees. Yashoda Bhiya. He became afraid of Mother Yashoda. Yad bibheti swayam bhayam. Means even fear personified becomes fearful of Krishna, but Krishna became fearful of this simple gopi in Vrindavan. Yashoda Bhiya. Ulukhalat dhavamanam. He got down from this wooden grinding mortar and dhavamanam. He is running away. But paramrishtam atyantato dhritya gopya. Just because Krishna is running away, that does not mean Yashoda Mata gives up her endeavor, gives up her determination to catch him. Although Krishna is inaccessible, still a devotee is determined to access Krishna. So, paramrishtam atyantato dhritya gopya. Yashoda Mata with great eagerness, great enthusiasm, great determination ran behind Krishna and finally caught Krishna, the supreme controller. For that we need determination. So this one shloka is giving us the contrast in Krishna's qualities. First half describes how he is the supreme controller. Second half describes how he is controlled by his devotees. And to come under the control of Krishna is the supreme ecstasy of a devotee. And when the devotion goes beyond control, means when someone becomes very much devoted to Krishna, then such a devotee controls Krishna. And that's what is described in 10th canto Bhagavatam by Sukadeva Goswami. He says, Svamatuhu svinna gatraya visrasta kabarasraja Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit svabandhane. Svamatuhu svinnagatraya. Svamatuhu means his own mother. Krishna saw his own mother. Svinnagatraya means her entire body was perspiring. She got up so early in the morning. She was churning butter for Krishna. So much hard work. Did you ever churn butter in your life? Not a single person here. Maybe a couple of devotees. How often? Once in a lifetime or a few times in a lifetime? Yeah. With a small pot with the wooden churning rod like this, right? But anyone has done this like bigger pot, like our Pitambar Prabhu does, a bigger pot with 10 liters or 20 liters content inside with a bigger churning rod tied to a rope to the wall, and then you are just doing like this. That takes more effort, by the way. Your hands will get good exercise. Right? It's not churning buttermilk of say 200 ml or 500 ml or 1 liter. No, it's bigger quantity. And nowadays people don't even churn like that also. Buttermilk. I have seen people pouring water in yogurt and then just mixing with some hands only, and then done. This buttermilk is ready. Or they put in mixer grinder also, like lassi. But Yashoda Mata is churning with so much of effort. Svamatuhu svinnagatraya. She got up early in the morning and she was churning butter for Krishna, and later she fed Krishna her own milk. Then she kept Krishna aside and ran into this kitchen to pick up that Padmagandha milk that was overflowing. And meanwhile Krishna did so much mess there. He broke butter pot, he stole butter, he distributed butter to the monkeys, and he ran away and made Yashodamata run behind him in all the streets of Vrindavan. So much hard labor. And finally, after a long time, Yashodamata finally caught Krishna. Paramrishtam atyantato dhritya gopya. Finally she caught Krishna. And then Krishna started speaking so many lies, and Yashodamata had to scream at him, yell at him, shout at him, with love, of course. And she wanted to bind Krishna. Because Yashodamata, while chastising Krishna, said, Krishna, you are associating with monkeys so much. You are behaving like a monkey. You have the nature of monkeys. Looks like you are coming from a lineage of monkeys. Then Krishna said, if you are calling me a monkey, let me not stay in your home. I will go out in the forest and stay with the monkeys only. Live with the monkeys only. Then Yashodamata became concerned. My God, this boy is so agitated. He's crying. He's breathing so heavily. Krishna drank nice milk, ate good amount of butter. He just got up from his sleep and he ran. But Yashodamata, before she ran, probably she was fasting till then. Before she ran, she did so much of hard work. Because Krishna's hard work, Krishna's running and breathing heavily is not as intense as Mother Yashoda's running after so much of hard labor. Not to minimize Krishna's effort in running away from Mother Yashoda, but definitely Mother Yashoda put more effort, much more effort than Krishna in chasing Krishna, right? So she was perspiring and she was trying to bind Krishna, but she was unable to bind. She was joining more and more ropes, extra labor. So much of hard work. She's binding more and more ropes and still Krishna is not getting bound. So Krishna sighed. Svamatuhu svinnagatraya. Her entire body is perspiring. Her curly locks of hair which were falling on her face were dripping with drops of perspiration. Face is filled with perspiration. Not only that, Visrasta kabarasraja. On her head there are beautiful malati flowers and they were falling down because she was running. And these malati flowers also were very conscious. They were falling down because they wanted to reduce Mother Yashoda's weight. We will discuss Damodar Leela in greater detail later. But Krishna saw Mother Yashoda working so hard. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit swabandhane. Krishna saw her parishrama, her hard endeavor. Then kripaya, he became very merciful. And swabandhane, he agreed to come under her control. So this is what Damodar Leela is teaching us. We need to put some effort to serve Krishna, to know Krishna, to understand Krishna, to serve his devotees. And Krishna will see our sincere effort and he will reciprocate with our effort by showing his mercy. That's what Damodar Leela is teaching us. And the more effort we put to please Krishna, to serve him, the more Krishna will come under control. If our effort is this much to serve Krishna in some way, Krishna will give that much mercy. If our effort is so much to please him, to serve him, Krishna will say, my God, I cannot reciprocate. Let me come under his control. Aham bhakta paradhino. Bhaktair jitatvam. I'm conquered by their effort. It's not just the physical effort. Mother Yashoda definitely put a lot of physical effort, but see her intention. She wanted to serve Krishna. She wanted to discipline him. Absorbed in her motherly affection, being so stubborn and quote-unquote transcendentally proud of her position as mother of Krishna, Mother Yashoda wanted to discipline him, teach him good manners, see him grow as a good quote-unquote human being, not seeing his divinity or godhood. Godhead's godhood is ignored. It happens only in Vrindavan. And Krishna came under her control. When we give up our controlling tendency and come under the control of our own love for Krishna, then Krishna comes under our control. But when we retain our controlling tendency like Indra, then Krishna has to control us, control our pride. And to control the pride of Indra, Krishna increases the pride of Govardhan mountain. That's another Leela that happened in Kartik month. Kartik month is filled with so many beautiful Leelas of Krishna in Vrindavan. Kartik month and Vrindavan are so closely connected. Kartik month and Krishna are closely connected. Kartik month and all the rasas of Krishna are also connected to each other. We just have discussed this beautiful Leela, Damodar Leela, very briefly. And this Damodar Leela is the epitome of all Krishna's Leelas in Vatsalya Rasa. Epitome of Vatsalya pastimes is Damodar Leela. And just at the beginning of Kartik month is Rasa Leela. Technically, Sharad Purnima is a part of the previous month, not part of Kartik month. We have Kartik Purnima as a part of Kartik month. But still, the Sharad Purnima marks the beginning of Kartik month. It's just coming after it. So that's epitome of Madhurya pastimes. You see the dedication of the gopis. Pati sutanvayad bhratru bandhavad ati vilanghyate nyachyutagata gati virastavod gita mohita kitavayoshitaha kastyaje nishi. Pati sutta bhratru bandhava. These gopis have given up everything. And just to serve Krishna, just to be with Krishna, dance with Krishna, please Krishna, the gopis have given up everything. Their own relatives, social customs, Vedic regulations, their own womanly shyness, they have given up everything and came to Vamshivat. And Krishna tested them once again. Why did you come? It's the middle of the night. You came to the forest in the middle of the night. Of course, the forest is well lit under the moonshine of Sharad Purnima moon. But still, forest is a place of ferocious animals. And night is very dangerous. Please go back. Your relatives must be waiting for you. And the gopis became even more devastated. Of course, although externally Krishna is asking them to go back, internally his desire is they should stay back. Only when you are so deeply connected to Krishna, you can hear stay back behind his go back. He may say go back, but you hear stay back. He's saying stay back. He said go back. No, he's saying stay back. You will hear that. You will hear the intention more than the external words. So they stayed back. They even chastised Krishna. Some scholars call this appeal of gopis as Pranaya Gita. 10th canto Bhagavatam has so many beautiful songs. Venu Gita, Gopi Gita, Yugala Gita, Bhramara Gita, Viraha Gita, 5 Gitas. But some scholars call this episode where the gopis implored Krishna that we will not go back, we will stay back. So that episode in the 10th canto 29th chapter is Pranaya Gita. Some call like that. Anyways, they stayed back and Krishna started dancing with them. And as they are dancing, every single gopi felt that she is the most fortunate lady in the entire creation. Why did they think so? Are they proud? Yeah, it may seem like pride in one sense, but they're actually happy. Because Krishna expanded himself into innumerable forms and danced with every single gopi. Every gopi felt that Krishna is with me only. And Krishna is with me means I am very special. Because they are considering themselves special because of their connection with Krishna. They are taking pride in their connection with Krishna. It's not that they are like conditioned souls, they are taking pride in their own beauty or other attributes or their wealth or any other external qualities. No. They are taking pride in their connection with Krishna. But still, there is some pride, slight tinge of pride. And Krishna wanted to give us a message through them. What is that message? I cannot entertain pride in you, in any of my devotees. He disappeared from the scene. Then the gopis sang this beautiful song of separation, Gopi Gita. Jayati te dhikam janmana vraja. So, under this moonlit sky of Vrindavan, wandering in the forests of Vrindavan, on the banks of Yamuna, while asking all the trees and creepers and forest animals and birds there about Krishna's whereabouts, the gopis are singing this song of separation, Gopi Gita. So, Kartik month gives us an opportunity to also meditate on those loving emotions of the gopis. Not like a sahajiya, not that we jump into the most esoteric emotions of the gopis for Krishna, but there are certain attributes of this song, this beautiful Gopi Gita, that are very much relevant for sadhaka, especially the middle one. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti Bhurida Jana. This one shloka will take few sessions from us, but we can go deep into the meanings of some of these shlokas or the meanings relevant for sadhakas so that we can apply them, meditate on them, appreciate their devotion and imbibe a drop of such devotion and determination, and mainly appreciate how Krishna doesn't appreciate pride in his devotees. Krishna expects his devotees to be humble, not proud. That's an important message. Ishamani syndrome. So, Krishna gave up. Yashodamata said, Krishna, you are so proud. Give up your pride. In Damodar Leela, when Yashodamata caught Krishna, Krishna is speaking so many lies. He's saying, you only broke the pot, I didn't break the pot. I broke? Yeah, of course. When you ignored me, when you neglected me, when I'm drinking your milk, you, without any mercy, you just kept me aside. At the time you ran into the kitchen, somehow your anklet touched the pot and the pot broke. You know that? Oh, me. Then Yashoda Mata said, give up your pride and tell me the truth. Who distributed butter to the monkeys? Then Krishna says, the one who has created them distributed butter to the monkeys. Which is correct. But Yashoda, absorbed in her transcendental position as Krishna's superior, Krishna's mother, she is authorized to chastise. We cannot say, Krishna, you are proud. Yashoda Mata can say. So, Krishna became humble. Earlier, according to Yashoda Mata's perspective, Krishna was proud that he was speaking lies and he was not allowing himself to be bound. But later, he surrendered to the devotion of Mother Yashoda. Yashoda Mata bound Krishna, and see, the supreme controller of all the planets of the entire cosmos is keeping aside his position as a controller. What is pride? To overly identify oneself with our power, our position, our designation. But Krishna is so humble, he kept aside everything. He kept aside his power, his position, his designation as creator, maintainer, destroyer, proprietor, master, enjoyer. He kept aside everything. He's crying for mother's milk. So humble. If you are a multimillionaire, if you have a milk ocean with you, how can you cry for little milk from a woman? But Krishna said that milk ocean doesn't give me any enjoyment. I want milk of Mother Yashoda only. And Yashoda Mata says, no, I want just Padmagandha milk only. Right? Because that is for Krishna. That's ultimately meant for Krishna. If you can just absorb your minds in finer nuances of this Damodar Leela or any other Leela of Krishna, our life will pass like that. Entire life will just be spent or utilized, not spent, utilized in dwelling on the finer nuances of all the Vrindavan pastimes of Krishna. If only we have the taste. Gauranga was sharing with me. He was covering this chapter of Krishna's going to Mathura with Akrura. He's saying, I relished it so much. So, somewhere the pastimes of Krishna should leave a mark in our hearts. We should be inspired by them. We should relish them. We should take pleasure in hearing them, speaking them, discussing them, and analyzing them from multiple angles, devotional angles, not scholarly, not some kind of speculative angles. Don't apply mundane logic to Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, please. Keep logic aside and relish the way Acharyas have taught us. But when you are analyzing Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes, multiple times you will get this message of humility. Whether it is Damodar Leela where Krishna became humble, Krishna surrendered to the desires of Mother Yashoda. Later he surrendered to the desires of another devotee. Who is that? Narada Muni. Krishna himself is bound by Mother Yashoda's rope and is crying there. Balramji is also unable to release him. Then suddenly he sees Yamalarjuna trees. Then he remembered, oh, Narada Muni wants me to release them, right? Okay, let me go. So Krishna went and released them. And they were offering prayers. See? Otherwise, Krishna doesn't have much interest in Nalakuvara and Manigriva. He's busy with Yashoda Mata. Right? When he's so busy and absorbed in his loving exchanges with his mother, Yashoda, why would he, spare his time or mental space or bandwidth for this Nalakuvara and Manigriva, definitely who are not on the level of Vrajavasis. But Narada Muni wanted Krishna to give them some time. And they have become Vrajavasis also, trees, Vrajavasi trees. They had the fortune of witnessing Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. especially Balya Leela in Nanda Maharaj's courtyard. So Krishna gave them time. That is Krishna's surrender to Narada Muni. First he surrendered to Yashoda Mata, then he surrendered to Narada Muni. Krishna is humble in Vrindavan. He is surrendering to everybody. Nobody is believing that he is God. Nobody is acknowledging his position as God, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Ishvara. We have to remind ourselves. Therefore, Acharya say, you may forget. Brajavasis forgot. When you discuss Vrindavan pastimes too much, you will also forget that Krishna is God. Better you remember that Krishna is God. Therefore, he says, Namami Ishwaram Satchidananda Rupam. So remember that he is Ishvara, then get into other pastimes. Rudantam Muhur Netra Yigmam Mrijantam. We should remember. We are not on the level of Brajavasis. Some of you may be, but I am not. But the message is very clear. Krishna kept aside all his designations outside Vrindavan and entered Vrindavan without any designations. The only designation that Krishna has is, I am Mother Yashoda's son. The only designation Krishna has is, I am Sridhama's friend, Sudama's friend, Nanda Maharaj's son. I am Radharani's lover. I am subservient of all these devotees. And when gopis become slightly proud of their connection with Krishna, Krishna made them humble. Oh, you should be humble. Gopis are always humble. Gopas are always humble. Srimati Radharani, the presiding deity, presiding goddess of Kartik month, she is so humble. She is so humble that she says, this devotee is better than me. Krishna, please accept this devotee. And Krishna says, oh, he's better than you. Okay, fine. You are saying it. He's humble. to Radharani's opinion, he became humble and he accepts that devotee. And she means it. Right? That is humility. The gopis are so humble that when Krishna is being taken away by Akrura from Vrindavan to Mathura, then the gopis are feeling. Krishna derives the greatest enjoyment only in Vrindavan. Only in Vrindavan, Krishna derives the utmost enjoyment. The kind of service, the quality of service that Krishna receives in Vrindavan, he cannot receive anywhere, whether it is Mathura or Dwarka or Hastinapur or wherever outside Vrindavan. Krishna cannot get this quality association, this quality of service, this quality of love. We like to stay in a place where we are valued, where we are loved, where we are helped. Right? Wherever we are receiving good service, good love and affection, wherever there is good association, inspiring association of people with pure hearts, that's a place we would like to stay. What can be a better place for Krishna than Vrindavan to stay? He gets the best quality love there, best quality service there. He gets the most pure-hearted devotees there. Such pure hearts are not available everywhere outside Vrindavan, anywhere outside Vrindavan, including Vaikuntha, including Mathura, Dwaraka, Hastinapur, wherever you go. Of course, there are pure devotees there also, but this is special. Vrindavan is totally special. This is so special that the pure-hearted devotees of Krishna in Vrindavan don't even acknowledge that Krishna is God. That is the purity of Vrindavan. While all other places, devotees acknowledge that Krishna is God, but in Vrindavan, people don't acknowledge that Krishna is God. Because they are so absorbed in that mood, pure mood of being a friend of Krishna, being a mother of Krishna, being a father of Krishna, being a lover of Krishna, that they forget that Krishna is God. But in Mathura, Vasudeva and Devaki, they also love Krishna as parents, as mother and father, but they remember that Krishna is God. Sometimes they fold their hands and offer prayers also. Now that interferes with Krishna's experience of Vatsalya Prema, right? If somebody is just chastising you like a mother and suddenly offering dandavats, you feel like, then there's a rasabhas there. Not rasabhas, it's not wrong rasa, but Krishna becomes a bit uncomfortable. I want pure Vatsalya Prema, pure Sakhya Prema. Arjuna teases Krishna, jokes with Krishna, and suddenly says, Krishna, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan. And he says, sorry, I'm sorry, I joked with you. too much reverence. I want pure friendship. I don't want some reverence mixed friendship. I don't want Aishwarya Gnana Yukta Vatsalya Prema or Aishwarya Gnana Yukta Sakhya Prema. I want pure, Kevala Vatsalya, Kevala Madhurya. I want Kevala Sakhya. Oh, Krishna relishes that rasas also, but this is more relishable to Krishna. And the gopis are aware of this. Therefore the gopis say, Krishna, don't go out of Vrindavan. Such sweetness. And the gopis are so humble that they think that if Krishna can get a better quality service outside Vrindavan, either in Mathura or any other place, we would like to send him there forever. Not that the gopis are greedy for Krishna's association. They are greedy to please Krishna. They are not saying, Mera kya hoga, Mera kya hoga. What will happen to us if he leaves? They are not thinking about themselves. They are thinking about Krishna only. What will happen to Krishna if Krishna leaves Vrindavan? He will not get this best quality association or service anywhere. So he should stay here to experience that best quality of service, which is not available in the entire cosmos, anywhere in the entire material or spiritual worlds. That is their concern. That's why they are crying. Their crying is having a purpose. They are not crying for themselves. This is humility. Humility means you have multiple definitions of humility, multiple facets of humility. One most important facet of humility is not to think of oneself, but to think of Krishna. Come out of that self-absorption and keep Krishna as the center of our lives. That is humility. And if you see this definition of humility, Vrajavasis are most humble devotees. They always keep Krishna in the center. They don't keep anyone else in the center. They don't keep themselves also in the center. Every single Vrajavasi, whether it's small Gopa or a grown-up Gopa, or a little Gopi or an elderly Gopi, or cow or calf or peacock or monkey or whoever, they all love Krishna more than all their relatives, all their children, all their husbands, all their wives, and themselves also. Every married Gopa loves Krishna more than all his family members. Every married Gopi loves Krishna more than her husband. Every mother loves Krishna as a son more than her own sons. Every cow loves Krishna more than her own calves. Can you just imagine? This is humility. When they all sit on the bank of Yamuna to take prasad, to take lunch, they keep Krishna in the center. And they form circles. So many concentric circles. Just go to our Yamuna and then throw a small rock in Yamuna. Don't throw big rocks. Our in charge will catch you. Just throw a small rock. Or when you are feeding the fishes, take a small atta ball and then throw in Yamuna. What will happen? It will create so many ripples. That ball, the point where the ball fell is the center. And there are hundreds of concentric circles around it. And Krishna is the center, and all the Gopas form hundreds and hundreds of concentric circles. This is Vrindavan, to keep Krishna in the center. And Krishna is so humble, as the Gopas are happily having their lunch by keeping Krishna in the center. Oh. Suddenly Brahma comes. There is no humility in Brahma at this moment. Brahma is humble, no offense to him. But at this moment, Brahma identified himself as the creator of this universe, not as servant of Krishna. Therefore, he is humbled. When you go to Vrindavan, and if you are not humble, you will be humbled. Either you voluntarily become humble, or Krishna will humble you by humiliating you. He did that with Indra, he did with Brahma. So Brahma came and he has stolen all the little boys and calves. First he stole the calves, and all the Gopas who were taking prasad with Krishna, they noticed it and they became anxious. Then Krishna immediately got up from his prasad and said, "My dear friends, please continue to relish your lunch. Enjoy your lunch. I will go and search for the calves." When a community or a group of devotees keep Krishna in the center of their lives, they derive all affection and all protection from Krishna. Krishna owns their anxieties. Why? Because they owned Krishna. Because they are owned by Krishna. And they have no other designation than this relationship between themselves and Krishna. Outside Vrindavan, although they are devotees, they have some designation, some power, some position, some little identification with something other than their servitude to Krishna, their connection with Krishna. Or at least they identify Krishna as God. But in Vrindavan, they identify Krishna only as their friend, only as their son. That's all. No other identity about themselves or about Krishna. Because they forgot all other identities. They forgot Krishna's identity as God also. Krishna forgets all his identities and he identifies themselves as their friend. Aho bhagyam nanda gopa vrajaukasam yanmitram paramanandam purnam brahma sanatanam. Aho bhagyam, what great fortune, what great fortune. Nanda gopa vrajaukasam. Nanda Maharaj and all the Vrajavasis led by Nanda Maharaj are extremely fortunate because yan mitram paramanandam purnam brahma sanatanam. That supreme absolute truth became their mitram, their friend, their beloved friend. That is their fortune. So Krishna owned their anxieties because they have no other designation to protect themselves. Any calamity comes, they come to Krishna. They don't have to take anxiety. Did you ever see Vrajavasis taking out their swords and then fighting with the demons? No. Our sticks are fighting with the demons. Even the sticks are also decoration only. When Krishna lifted Govardhan, they kept their sticks. Only decoration for their satisfaction. Assuming that they are supporting Krishna, they are not doing anything. Krishna completely owned their anxieties. When we have no other agenda in life other than serving Krishna, other than loving Krishna, Krishna has no other agenda other than reciprocating with our love and giving us necessary protection and affection that's required to continue our loving exchanges with Krishna. That's what Krishna did in Vrindavan. That's his job profile in Vrindavan. Job description of Krishna in Vrindavan is to maintain the love of Vrajavasis, is to reciprocate with the love of Vrajavasis. Krishna is a creator, maintainer, destroyer. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is a reciprocator. We can see Krishna's powers or vibhutis or opulences in his activities of creation, maintenance, destruction, protecting dharma, and many other activities that he does. But the topmost opulence of Krishna is revealed in his ability to reciprocate with the love and affection of his devotees, and that is revealed to the highest possible extent in Vrindavan. What is the greatest attribute of Krishna? The greatest attribute of Krishna is to reciprocate with the love and affection of his devotees. Not his creative ability, not his ability to maintain this creation, not his ability to destroy demons, definitely not. Not his ability to display Vishwarupa. Aneka bahudara vaktra nitram pashyami tvam sarvatonanta rupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshwara Vishwarupa. That is not Krishna's ultimate opulence. Krishna gives a big list of vibhutis, Vibhuti Yoga, 10th chapter. Don't think that they are his ultimate vibhutis. They are vibhutis, definitely, we respect them. But the ultimate opulence of Krishna, ultimate Aishwarya of Krishna, Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Pashyame Yogam Aishwaram. Behold my mystic opulence. Behold my divine opulence, O Arjuna, he says. But that is not the divine opulence. That is not the ultimate divine opulence. The ultimate divine opulence of Krishna is his reciprocation with the Vrajavasis. His deep affection for his devotees. That's the best part of Krishna. Krishna has so many parts and so many facets. The best part of Krishna's personality is his ability and his intention to reciprocate with the love and affection of his devotees, especially the Vrajavasis. And the best part of we living beings is to reciprocate with that affection of Krishna and connect with him through Bhakti Yoga. That's the best part of ourselves. We may have multiple talents, we have multiple facets, we have multiple vibhutis, so-called. But amongst all the facets and all qualities that we have, the best part of ourselves is to reciprocate with Krishna's affection. And this best part of the Lord and the devotee is demonstrated to the highest possible extent in Vrindavan, and especially in the pastimes that happen in the Kartik month. Whether it is Rasa Leela, or Damodar Leela, or Govardhan Leela, or Gopashtami. You see, in Rasa Leela, we see Krishna's reciprocations with Vraja Gopis, Madhurya Gopis. In Damodar Leela, Krishna's reciprocation with Vatsalya devotees we see. Gopashtami is the day where Krishna was given the charge of calves, and with his little Gopa boy friends, he went into the forest along with the calves. You can see that you can connect it with Sakhya Rasa. He's with the Sakhya Bhaktas. Of course, when he's wandering on the forests of Vrindavan on Gopashtami or while during his cow-herding pastimes, he's in touch with the Shanta devotees also. But Govardhan Leela is a Leela where Krishna reciprocates with all the devotees of all rasas. Sakhya Rasa, Madhurya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, all rasa devotees are there. Simultaneously receiving that reciprocation from Krishna in Govardhan Leela. They kept Krishna as the center. Actually, Krishna went and stood in the center. And from the center of Govardhan mountain, one rock got disconnected. Right, when Krishna tried to lift Govardhan mountain, one rock from the bottom of Govardhan that got disconnected. And Krishna went and stood on that rock. That's like a stage for Krishna. So that there's some gap between the heads of Vrajavasis and the base of Govardhan. He went and stood there and held the mountain like this on his little finger for 7 days and 7 nights. Now Krishna is in the center on that stage, little altitude, 7-year-old boy, and Yashoda Mata, Nanda Maharaj, Rohini Mata, Balaram, Radharani, and all the younger gopis, Madhumangal, all of them are there on all sides of Krishna. Some are behind Krishna, some are in front of Krishna, some are on this side of Krishna, some are on that side of Krishna, some are close to Krishna, some are far away from Krishna. And Govardhan mountain also expanded itself so huge to accommodate all the hundreds and thousands of Vrajavasis, including lakhs of cows. Just imagine how big Govardhan mountain must have been. How much should be the size of an umbrella to accommodate 9 lakh cows in Nanda Maharaj's Goshala. But there are other Goshalas also. How big should be an umbrella to accommodate some few million gopis, few million gopas? But Govardhan expanded by the divine touch of Krishna. Govardhan expanded its body, his body so huge that Govardhan could accommodate all these Vrajavasis. Now definitely some Vrajavasis must be far away from Krishna, apparently, physically speaking. But all these Vrajavasis, although they are far from Krishna, still they are having the experience of seeing Krishna face to face, smiling at Krishna and receiving Krishna's benevolent smiles upon them. This is the opulence of Krishna. Not the Mahattattva, Pradhana, transformation through the Kala Shakti. There is also opulence of Krishna, undoubtedly. But this is a greater opulence of Krishna. So Krishna lifted Govardhan mountain because Govardhan mountain is a humble devotee of Krishna. So Krishna lifted this mountain to expand this mountain's glories for all time to come. And Krishna pulled this Indra from the mountain of his pride. At that time, mountain Govardhan was very humble, grounded on the ground. But where was Indra sitting? Indra sat on top of a mountain. And the name of that mountain is pride, arrogance, Ishamani syndrome. And Krishna thought, oh, why are you sitting there? Come down. Come, niche jao, niche jao. So Krishna lifted this mountain and brought him down from the mountain of pride. And at the foothills of Govardhan, Indra fell at the feet of Krishna and said, I am sorry. This Haridasavarya, Govardhan mountain, is a better devotee than me. And better devotee than many people. You see? Because we are in character class. We are trying to highlight the character attributes of all Kartik pastimes. Humility. How Govardhan mountain is so humble. Hantaya madrirabala haridasavaryo yadrama krishna charana sparasha pramodaha manam tanoti sahago ganayostayoryat pani yasuyavasakandara kandamulai. Hantaya madrirabala haridasavaryo. Srimati Radharani, the epitome of Madhurya Prema in Parakiya flavor, she is glorifying Govardhan mountain as the best of all servants with absolutely no envy. One of the facets of pride is to be envious of someone who is little more exalted than us. But one of the facets of humility is to appreciate anyone who is glorious in any way. And Srimati Radharani, the best of all devotees of Krishna, is glorifying Govardhan as the best of all servants of Lord Hari. No reservations in glorification. Sometimes we are little frugal and conjuicy and miserly in appreciating others. It happens sometimes. Why? If I appreciate him, maybe he'll become proud. I should humble him. Or that's one facet. If you are really caretaker, you may have to do that also. Sometimes Guru does it for disciples. But another aspect, another part of ourselves is thinking that if I exalt him or glorify him so much, what will happen to me? Maybe my glory may be minimized or may not be recognized, or maybe he will come in forefront and I will be sidelined. That insecurity is there. But let's not be insecure in glorifying other devotees. Let's not have any reservations in appreciating the genuine good qualities of other devotees. We learn this from Srimati Radharani. In Venugita she is saying, Haridasavarya, this Govardhan mountain is the best of all servants of Lord Hari. Why? Because Govardhan is glorified as Giriraj not because of his size or his length or his breadth or other external attributes. Because of his service attitude, he is glorified as Giriraj. Then when you say king of all mountains, best of all mountains, is tallest of all mountains, or the broadest of all mountains, or the heaviest of all mountains. Is that the greatness of this mountain? No. Not about length or breadth or heaviness or the caves there or the gold mines hidden there. Not these things. They may be there, we don't know. But because of the service attitude of Giriraj Govardhan. Who is the greatest? One who has humility, one who has the wealth of service attitude. He is the greatest. And Govardhan is serving not only Krishna, not only Balaram, but all the associates of Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. That's why Govardhan is so glorious. And because of the service attitude of Govardhan, selfless service attitude of Govardhan, because of Govardhan's nature of taking pleasure in serving Krishna and Vrajavasis, Radharani is glorifying Govardhan as the best of all servants. You see this? Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparasha Pramodaha. Yad Rama Krishna Charana Sparsha. Just the sparsha, the touch of the divine lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram is making Govardhan so blissful. Pramodaha. Pani yasuya vasakandara kandamulai. Whether it is offering paniya or suyavasa, soft grasses, or kandara, caves, or kandamulai, means little herbs and bulbs. Govardhan's service is exemplary, exalted. And Radharani is recognizing that service. That's why Govardhan is Haridasavarya, and that humility is exalted by Krishna. Krishna could have protected the Vrajavasis in any way. He has 100 different ways to protect the Vrajavasis. When Indra created this devastating rainfall in Vrindavan, Krishna could have expanded Nanda Bhavan into a big city or a big island. Or Krishna could have dried up all the drops of water coming from the sky. He could have done so many things to protect the Vrajavasis, but he chose to lift Govardhan mountain only. Because Datta Manam means Krishna wanted to honor Giriraj. Let Giriraj Govardhan be glorified for all time to come as the protector of Vrajavasis. Let Giriraj get that credit. Why should I take that credit? But I am eager to glorify, therefore I lift it. Lift Govardhan mountain. And Giriraj should get all the credit. Although all these are manifestations of Krishna's potency only, whether it is Giriraj, Govardhan mountain and all the Vrajavasis, still Krishna and his expansions or his eternal associates together are performing these pastimes and giving all of us this most important messages of being grounded in our humble service attitude, humble mode, like Giriraj Govardhan, like Srimati Radharani, like the Gopas, like Yashoda Mata, like Krishna. He is so humble, he kept aside his power and position and came under the control of all these devotees. And when Brahma was proud of his position as the creator of this universe, and in such a mindset when Brahma came to Vrindavan and witnessing this wonderful pastime of Krishna on the bank of Yamuna, while he is taking his lunch with all the Gopa boys, Brahma could not appreciate the glory of Vrindavan. Can you just imagine? Why? Because he was proud. When there is pride in the mind, we cannot appreciate the glory of Vrindavan. We cannot appreciate Krishna's pastimes with the Vrajavasis. When there is pride. Sometimes proud scholars and philosophers, they take pleasure in analyzing the Tattva and Siddhanta. They cannot take pleasure in simple pastimes of Krishna and Vrindavan. Isn't that a bachelon ka story? These were kids, not for us. We are philosophers. Analytical topics we will analyze. But it requires humility and purity and modesty and honesty to appreciate Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. When Brahma was proud, he could not understand the glory of Vrindavan. He could not appreciate Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. But later, after 1 year, means one moment of Brahma, when Brahma became humble, then the glories of Vrindavan are revealed to Brahma. He could appreciate the pastimes of the Vrajavasis. He could appreciate the glory of Vrajavasis. He said, Aho Bhagyam, Nanda Gopa Vrajokasam. He appreciated Vrindavan. Naikatra Priya Samvasaha Suhurdam Chitrakarmanam Oghena Vyuhamananam Plavanam Srotasoyatha. He could appreciate the glory of Vrindavan only in a humble state of mind, not in an arrogant mindset. Brahma could appreciate Vrajavasis, and he became even eager to become a blade of grass in Vrindavan to get the dust from the lotus feet of all these Gopa boys on his head. He was trying to steal them. He thought of himself capable of stealing them and hiding them somewhere. consciously or unconsciously, he was thinking that of course I can kidnap these little boys. Bachche log hai. I can easily steal them. He was thinking like that. But later he understood, my God, these people are not kids. They may be like kids, but they are so exalted in their devotion to Krishna. I am insignificant in front of them. To get dust from their feet, I should fall at their feet. I should become a shrub or a blade of grass in Vrindavan. Only then he could understand the glories of Vrindavan. Uddhava, he had so much knowledge. But when he came to Vrindavan, Asama hocharan renu jushama hamsyam Vrindavane kimapi gulmalataushadhinam Yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim srutibhirvimrugyam. He said, I just want dust from the lotus feet of all these gopis of Vrindavan. I don't want anything else. Uddhava said this. Whether Uddhava came to Vrindavan, or Brahma came to Vrindavan, or Indra came to Vrindavan, they could understand the glories of Vrindavan, or Krishna, or Vrajavasis, or appreciate Krishna's pastimes with the Vrajavasis only in a humble state of mind. When that humility is not there, forget understanding Vrindavan. We can never understand Vrindavan. And whatever understanding we gain of Vrindavan is only superficial, on a superficial level. It's only tasting rabdi and sompapdi in Loi Bazaar or Giriraj Mishtan Bhandar. That's Vrindavan Yatra for us. Or it's getting irritated by the pigs that are moving in the open Suez canals there. Or it's getting irritated by the auto, what is that? Rickshaws. Rickshaws when they're driving us, my God, you get to go high into the sky, like as Trunavata is taking you high. We only complain. Of course, if it is a physical requirement, you may aspire for that for all practical purposes, but entering the real spirit of Vrindavan means to embrace a humble state of mind. It's there within us. The potency to be humble is there within our hearts. Actually, in our natural constitutional position, in our original pure state of consciousness, we are humble people. But what to do? That humility is covered by so many designations and distractions and tribulations and temptations in this world, and we have to dhundna padega. Where is humility? Where is humility? Where is it hidden there? Sometimes you keep some pen or pencil or book or some important thing or card in your table, in your drawer or in your shelf, and over a period of time so many books and other things are just accumulated on top of it, and so many things were covering it, and this little card is somewhere hidden below it, and you're searching everywhere in the room. In Hindi they say khojna padega, right? You are just trying to take out everything. You get a little irritated also. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Finally, below this big pile of books and other things, you'll find that little card. I have been searching for it. Or passport, for example. So you came back from an international tour and kept passport somewhere. And on top of that passport, so many things are accumulated. And next international tour is there. Where is passport? Where is passport? You are searching everywhere. Gaurangadarshan Prabhu. You need passport to go out, right? You're searching for it. So for that, you need to excavate everything and take away all the unnecessary stuff accumulated above the passport, and then finally, this is my passport to my country. That passport is humility. That gives us entrance into Vrindavan. Nothing else. Whether it is Govardhan Leela, or Damodar Leela, or Rasa Leela, or Brahma Vimohana Leela, or Uddhava's visit to Vrindavan, or Brahma's visit to Vrindavan, or Indra's visit to Vrindavan, or Krishna's departure from Vrindavan, or Krishna's stay in Vrindavan, every aspect of Vrindavan is giving us this important message of humility. When we have that, humility is to keep Krishna in the center of our lives, nothing else, no other priority. And Vrajavasis are absorbed in this state of consciousness of always keeping Krishna in the center of their lives. That is real humility. To realize one's insignificance and to appreciate Krishna's glories is a facet of humility. To reciprocate with Krishna's affection upon us is humility. To receive that grace is humility. And if we reject that grace instead of receiving that grace, that is arrogance, that is pride. And Vrindavan is filled with devotees who received that grace. And Vrindavan, if we approach Vrindavan in a right consciousness, definitely we will get that one-pointed devotion to Krishna. As Vrindavana Mahimamrita tells us, Sri Krishna ekanta bhavam kvanu sakala jano avashyamapnotya yatnat Krishnasyāscharya sīma parama bhagavatah kutra leelarthamurti kutratya Krishna padam bhuja bhajana mahananda samrajya kashtha bhratar vakshye rahasyam shrunu sakalamidam shrila vrindavanitra. Sri Krishna ekanta bhavam, one pointed devotion to Krishna is attained in Vrindavan. Exclusive attraction to Krishna's personality and Krishna's pastimes can be attained in Vrindavan, provided we approach Vrindavan in the right state of consciousness. Provided we perform whatever devotional activities we are doing in a humble state of mind. You may offer a lamp to Krishna. His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj says that lamp is a representative of our devotion. That flame is supposed to be personification of our love for Krishna. When we offer that lamps of love to Radha Damodar, we don't have to see Yamaraj. Hari Bhakti Vilas says, we don't need to meet Yamaraj or Yamadutas. But that's a byproduct. We can meet Yamaraj, no problem. We can connect with him as Vaishnava, not as the in charge of hell. Right? That upadhi you can keep aside. As a Vaishnava, of course, you can associate with Yamaraj. Discuss Harikatha, not discuss, hear Harikatha from him. Whether we are offering a lamp of our love, of our devotion, or at least if we don't have love and devotion, we should offer the lamp of our intention to Krishna. What is that intention? Krishna, my intention is to love you. Intention is to serve you. Intention is to embrace that mindset by which I can become an object of your grace, and that mindset of humility. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. Krishna will give us that necessary intelligence, not to understand how this app on your tab works. Krishna will give us that necessary intelligence to reach Him. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. What kind of buddhi does Krishna give us? That buddhi by which we reach Him, by which we attain Him. Not the buddhi by which we earn money or name, fame, prestige in this world. But for that, what should we do? Bhajatam pritipurvakam. When we do pritipurvaka bhajana, when we perform loving devotional service, then Krishna will get that dadami buddhi yogam tam. Then He will lit the lamp of, when we offer the lamp of this intention to Krishna, Krishna, I want to perform Priti Purvaka Bhajan. This is my intention. Give me that empowerment. Then Krishna will lit the lamp of knowledge. Tesham eva anukampartha aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayamyatma bhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. Tesham eva anukampartha, to show my special compassion upon that such a devotee. Aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvata. I will lit the lamp of knowledge in such a devotee's heart and destroy all the ignorance. What is that ignorance? Pride. Ignorance of our original spiritual identity as servants of Krishna, and pride and arrogance that we are something else other than servants of Krishna. Ignorance is basically arrogance or pride in material identities. But knowledge is humility, that we are servants of Krishna. Our original constitutional position as servant of Krishna is associated with our original consciousness as a consciousness of humility. Our original constitutional position as servant of Krishna is associated with the original consciousness of humility. But our assumed identities as masters or controllers or proprietors or Isha in this material world is associated with the consciousness of arrogance, pride, superiority complex, material designations. To come from this state to this state, we need to do Priti Purvaka Bhajan. We need to offer the lamp of our intention to Krishna. Krishna, please give me this consciousness. That is the ultimate mercy. Sometimes people consider good health as Krishna's mercy. Of course, that can be Krishna's mercy. Good wealth as Krishna's mercy. Good position and success in our material endeavors as Krishna's mercy. Of course, all this can be manifestations of Krishna's mercy. But the ultimate mercy of Krishna is when He makes us realize that we are servants of Krishna. When He helps us embrace this consciousness of being a humble servant of Krishna. And we need to pray for that mercy, not these kind of other smaller mercies. Then we can enter Vrindavan. Because Kartik helps us get absorbed in all the 5 potent forms of bhakti. All 5 potent forms. Deity worship, Srimad Bhagavatam, especially 10th canto pastimes of Krishna, holy name, holy dham, and Vaishnava seva. We can do all these 5 things in Kartik and attain Krishna's grace. But all this can be done in the right consciousness of humility. Whether we are offering a lamp to the deities, or serving the Vaishnavas, or doing some austerity, or going on a parikrama, or chanting the holy names of Krishna, or discussing Krishna's pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam. All this can be very effective when we embrace the right consciousness of humility. Easier said than done. I am speaking humility hundreds of times, but I am far away from that humility, and I need your blessings to become humble. Otherwise, Krishna has His own ways of making us humble. Either we voluntarily become humble, or we become humbled by Krishna, or humiliated by Krishna to become humble. One of these 2 options. But we have to become humble to enter Vrindavan. It's not that we can purchase a ticket and go to Vrindavan. And many of us are going for Vrindavan Yatra, right? During this Kartik Yatra. But this is the right mood of entering Vrindavan. Let's remind ourselves. Whatever I spoke in the last 1 hour is to remind myself. You happen to be present in front of me, that's all. I'm just thinking aloud. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.